Welcome back, guys. This is Gaming with Austin. We're gonna try this. This may be is episode 4, TA8 or something. Of the Utopian Community series. Slowly but steadily, the community would get larger and larger. I'm not just gonna grow the taters, the carrots, beetroots, and wheat. I'm also gonna think about growing sugarcane too. As well. Eventually, I'll be growing sugarcane as well. To maximize efficiency, I might gonna go for 2 blocks thick instead of 1. No, instead of 3, to maximize efficiency. Sometimes I get numbers mixed up. That's okay. Eventually, those houses right there will end up being townhouses ultimately. Eventually, those townhouses get turned into apartments, which then ultimately end up getting turned into high-rises. Look at the lighting. Eventually, those poles would act as supports, too. Because for such a large building, to prevent warping the platform, you're gonna need these. The warping would not be good. Thousands of cars and a million guitars screaming with power in the air now. The warping is something we don't want. Because there are farmers working there too. one of Iron Savior's songs. Because, you know, I'm a fan of heavy metal. In my opinion, personally, I think gerrymandering is just wrong. That's how President Cheesepuff won the election. Gerrymandering. That makes elections unfair. What we need is free and fair elections for everybody without the Electoral College. What we need is free and fair elections for all. Free and fair elections for all is what we need. What we need is free and fair elections for all of us on this planet. I believe that we need to bring America towards semi-direct democracy. I am against gerrymandering, in my opinion. What we need is free and fair elections for everybody. That's what we need. Free and fair elections for everybody. Instead of having to... because, you know, totalitarian countries, they tend to rig elections. They tend to commit electoral fraud. Just so they could abuse power. And I like Jon Stewart, too. What's undermining our democracy? Russia. Fascism is undermining our democracy. What we need to do is bring back democracy for the whole world. That's what we need. In a fascist country with sham elections over there, not only they do it through electoral rigging, but also through voter suppression too. They do it through voter suppression as well, not just electoral fraud. Electoral fraud is one of our biggest threats to democracy. What we need is a more democratic society. Look at much of Europe. They're very democratic. have more choice over there. How to achieve ultimate freedom. One thing we can do. Start taxing the shit out of everybody. So we can have free healthcare for all. Keep taxing people until we have a moneyless society, in which everything is free. And people still have to work. On the farm still. A really big threat to our democracy is neo-Nazis. Are the neo-Nazis. What we need to do is annihilate them. We need to annihilate the neo-Nazis from society. Start accepting others into society as well. Because the truth is, we are all created equal. We need to form unions. Workers' unions. In fascist countries, unions would probably be illegal. My goal is to start forming unions for everybody. If there are fulfillment centers in countries where there is still child labor, a lot of the workers there would be children. So Bezos can make a shit ton of money while the children suffer. The reason why much of the Middle East is retentionist for capital punishment, they retain capital punishment in accordance to Sharia law. Religion should not influence our politics. It shouldn't influence our politics. But there are countries in which religion controls the government. Unfortunately. Look at much of the Middle East. Much of the population is a Muslim. They're born into Islam. They're probably going to die into Islam. They're going to die. A lot of them are born a Muslim and are going to die a Muslim. Why? If they change their religion, they fear execution. When it goes to Islam, the reason I'm talking about politics, because what we need to do, I'd like to have a minute of silence to pay tribute to those who lost their lives on 9/11. Good. Because on 9/11/2001, 3,000 people lost their lives. Approximately. It's pretty sad. 19 terrorists from Al-Qaeda, they snatched 4 airplanes. One of them smacked into the Pentagon, 2 of them smacked into the Twin Towers, the other one smacked into a field in Pennsylvania. It was the deadliest massacre of the 21st century. It was the deadliest massacre. No guns were involved. This is proof that taking guns away will not stop all massacres. Look at the Tulsa, Oklahoma bombing. No, look at the Oklahoma bombing. It's during the 10-year ban on assault weapons. No guns were involved in that terrorist plot. We need better security everywhere to make sure they don't have any people who are potential passengers don't have any bombs. Islamism is actually a form of fascism. Islamism is a form of fascism. Why? The Nazis and the Islamic extremists do have a lot in common. 1, they want a master race. 2, they're both anti-Semitic. They want to have a global language based on their ideology. They want as much land as possible. This is proof that Islamism has a lot in common with fascism. They want to create a massive empire. Yes, Hitler is a terrorist who killed 50 million people under his orders. 50 million people died in the Holocaust. When I refer to the Holocaust, I refer to Hitler's reign as a Führer. His entire 12-year leadership. $50 million people died in the Holocaust. It's pretty sad. It was one of the worst tragedies in Germany and in much of Europe. What we need are laws that criminalize Holocaust denial. That criminalize... Just popping my knuckles, that's all. That criminalize the denial of the Holocaust. Laws that laws that criminalize the denial of it. To make sure something like that never happens again. Because in Germany, they learned from their mistakes. Us Americans, we haven't learned from our mistakes of slavery. We need to learn about them in very graphic detail to make sure something like that never happens again. Because before the Civil War, working conditions in the South were horrible, because much of the workers were slaves. That's pretty sad. Our end goal is to end segregation all over the world. Eventually, because before Mandela, South Africa was going through ethnic segregation, where the majority lived in shithole conditions. Well, the majority of South Africa is black. The truth is, we are all created equal no matter what. We are all human no matter your skin color, the shape or the size of your nose. We are all human. Before apartheid in Africa, before the Cold War, there was still racial segregation, especially under Hitler. Where he rounded up people and crammed them into ghettos. It's pretty bad. We would never do that. If we see ghettos like that in which people are crammed into shitty-ass living conditions, I'd liberate the ghettos. And bring people to freedom. The worst part, some end up in concentration camps, or death camps. We don't want concentration camps in our society. We need to destroy them. Or turn them into museums. At least turn them into museums. What we need is not only a Holocaust memorial, but also a memorial to the victims of Stalinism. And victims of the Armenian genocide. Because there are some Armenians in America, including Serj Tankian, who is the lead singer of System of a Down. What's wrong with Turkey? The government tends... Yes, I'm talking about the country, not the food. The government is a denier of the Armenian genocide. That is a big problem. Future generations need to learn about it, to make sure something like that never happens again. Because, you know, in the Armenian genocide, Christians were killed. It was one of the worst tragedies in Armenia. ISIS is doing is ethnic cleansing of the Yazidis. Which is pretty wrong. They have the right to exist too. They have the right to exist too. Not just the Jewish people, because none of them deserve to die from Adolf Hitler. No one deserves. The only person that deserves to die, in my opinion, is Adolf Hitler, because he killed 50 million people. Who should face a life sentence? Kim Jong-un for all the human rights violations. For me, I'd rather see Kim Jong-un and Hitler both in the gas chamber together. Or maybe Hitler and Stalin in the gas chamber together. While Kim Jong-un lives out the rest of his days at max. In Florence, Colorado. Hell on it has the nickname of Hell on Earth, because that's what it literally is. Most of the prisoners spend a long time there. This is it for this video. Don't forget to leave a like if you liked this video, dislike if you disliked it, subs if you loved it. Share this with your friends to help my channel grow. Thank you for watching, and as always, stay tuned for more, and peace out.